550 plus lawyers voted on a resolution that I be the electoral commissioner for the bar. Because, of course, they believe in me.
So it's important for broke down the issue today, for let the public understand.
3 values where this country stand for. 1, with cultural values. 2, with spiritual values. And 3, with moral values.
Nothing where they don't write, nothing where they don't put on the internet, now in AI they give you.
Now that's make we dey bring come to you the Today Show. We get segments where they range from interview on the big issues there.
We are very much optimistic, say, through the ballot, we are going to clinch the 2028 elections. Okay. Not by rigging.
Because you know when they rig elections, now during the entire for determining this.
Sunday I be to go church. That was years back. And tell me that the book of Genesis, Sunday will be to go Sunday school, will be to attend services, and tell we say, God make out man, me, and any where they say man, a universal term, man. So I make it inside the spelling of woman, you get man as well. Say God make man out of your image and likeness. That means say if I see Madam Aminata Kelly, I see Honorable H.M. Guevara, now God in image I don't see. So anything I do to them, now God indirectly I don't do that same act too. The same book of Genesis, now we say, no, in Exodus, now say God make a man out of his image and likeness. The book of Genesis, now we say, when God make the world, he make a man first he make, and then after some time, I make woman. He take one rib out of the man, I make woman, and the story then kind of interesting. We make woman, and for let them live by side. Not take take every part by the man in body and make woman. On one great side, the rib and mold, and for let woman be companion. So logically, you get your own explanation. Everybody will get your own interpretation. Somebody on one side will say, the reason why God make that day, and for let man and woman are ever equal. The strength man forget, woman not will ever get her. Hence, the one green rib I pull from man and make woman. So, how come now would they talk about equality? Law them at the country they talk, so we all for equal, and other law them as well. They say, okay, law give special powers to this particular category of people because they're vulnerable, now they're weak past all. Well, the arguments vary. Already now we salon law them, that now the contrast inside them. The Constitution get one side where they protect everybody equally, and another law they say, no, law give special preference to women them. Between the Constitution of Sierra Leone, the supreme law of the land, and the gender equality and women's empowerment law, which one right around protection of equality, or is it discriminating against one sex? Okay. What bring first you quote for today here is say, when fairness meets opportunity, the goal should be to uplift without overlooking ability. He say, when fairness meets opportunity, the goal should be to uplift without overlooking ability. So, where somebody deserves something, no matter in class, category, color, or sex, whether a man or woman, get no look whether get the opportunity. Where you go, you fail, if you want to succeed, it's up to the person. That's what it's saying more or less. My name is Patrick Salia. This night Today's Show on Slick Television on channel 37. With the option as well on with Facebook page Slick TV, website slicktv.com, and YouTube Slick TV Official. Now kickstart the conversation today with some news. Now we go first in Parliament. USA yesterday, the House of Lawmakers approved some presidential nominees. We don't go through vetting processes and finally receive the approval unanimously by the legislative body. James Kanu, get more.
The nominees, drawn from various professional and regional backgrounds, were praised for their competence and readiness to serve in key governance positions. During the debates, members of parliament from both sides of the aisle emphasized the importance of integrity, transparency, and commitment to public service in executing national responsibilities.
Presidential nominees, we have to be colorless if this nation has to develop at all. So, honorable members on both sides of the aisle, you have made my day today. Thank you very much. You have debated as Sierra Leoneans and not as SNPP members of parliament or APC members of parliament.
The Speaker commended the newly approved nominees and urged them to justify the confidence reposed in them by the President and the legislature. He reaffirmed Parliament's resolve to continue working as a unified body that reflects national values of accountability, representation, and progress. The sitting also featured a ceremonial moment as the Right Honorable Speaker, Singapore Solomon Thomas, welcomed Honorable Mohammed Shebora Bangura from Kambia District to the Well of Parliament. Honorable Bangura officially takes the seat of the late Honorable Anesdura Kouma, who was remembered with deep respect for his contribution to national development and parliamentary service.
You are now a full member of parliament. Albeit today you are the most junior member of parliament here. But you can learn a lot from the seniors. Of course, you have been given your standing orders and you have been given the national constitution. They should be your books. Read them and try to understand them. Parliament sittings start at 10 a.m. prompt. Please ensure that you are here exactly 10 a.m. or even before. I want, on behalf of Parliament and my very good self, congratulate you on your election and to heartily welcome you. For now, you will use the seat formerly occupied by the late Honorable Anesdura Kouma.
Slick TV, James Kanu reporting.
Shortly, we will be joined by Honorable Hindolo Moiwo Gevao, HMG for short, a member of Parliament representing Kailaun District. He also serves one or two committees in the Parliament and a lawyer as well. So they can discuss legality of some of the institutions and then the laws they pass. And Madam Aminata Kelly Lamin, who is a civil society activist, and later we'll talk to Budget Advocacy Network on some of these issues or barriers we get for do. But I will take you through some analysis. A report recently published by Budget Advocacy Network put out some barriers around women them in certain key positions. So, for example, they say women them when they into business them, women in the lead, they actually face registration issues. They say 1/3 of them women and the way they lead business at the country no register with the National Revenue Authority, and nearly 6 out of every 10 not aware of say them for return tax and so for submit tax returns. Additionally, they say 8 out of 10 women them where they into business not register with the National Social Security and Insurance Trust (NASIT) when are requirements by the laws of this country, and 4 out of 10 not get business bank accounts in the name of their business. All the one they also then say they hinder the participation of women them in the public procurement process. And say nearly 8 out of 10 women them where they lead business in this country, and surveys say they pay bribe for win contracts them. If not to that, they need to get contracts. So bribery can vary from one point to the other. And so out of that number they where they win government contracts, 4 out of 10 they admit, say, they experience corruption in the procurement process. And bribery, of course, includes sexual exploitation, financial constraint, gender stereotype, that are because now woman I make with do them, or because you know woman I make with do them. That's the stereotype. And complex bidding process, that the bottleneck the way they bidding processes, all these then say form part of the challenges where women they face. So they also put out some legal gaps. And say the current procurement law focus only for value for money transparency and fairness, but lack clear provision for gender inclusion. Gender, not woman or man. So gender, na man and woman. But in this society and context, gender has been understood and interpreted to mean or meaning only for women them. The National Public Procurement Act and say mandates 25% of the women them for participating in the National Public Procurement Authority process them. But it conflicts with 30% requirement of the GEWE, Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Law, where them in passed in 2022, 1 year ahead of the elections in 2023, where give 30% of women them. We'll come to that shortly for go into governance and other key positions. Then legal provision there also for the 30% of governance funded procurement for leather allocated to women them. The implementation not consistent. Inside 2020 procurement regulation and say a fail for mention gender or provide guidelines for include women them inside procurement governance. And then put out a whole lot of things. But when you go to the Constitution, you go to the GEWE, let's go to the GEWE Act, the one them passed in 2022 ahead of the elections. The Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Law, where you go to section, I'm not a lawyer, the lawyer, they can talk to me just now. I consult one of my lawyer friends, and then we spoke extensively on some of these provisions. It tell me, say part 2, when at the public elections, for example, we go to section 2 down to section 3, section 6, it give you a whole lot of explanation about women them provision where the Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Law provide for. They say 1, in the elections, for example, they get a spreadsheet, now the 2021 draft, who side then puts a number of MPs, female MPs, where for represent each constituency per district. There's a spreadsheet accordingly for that, and that's also did at the Public Elections Act of 2022. We clearly outline the number of seats where women forget from each district. But in this Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Law 2022, it says there shall be a public election as stated in subsection 2 of section 58 of the Public Elections Act, where reference to Register 2022. And then it says, in making appointments to cabinet and other government positions, the president may take due consideration of the possibility of appointing women to at least 30%. 30%. So out of 10 people away for going to parliament, for example, or cabinet, about 3 for they among them. And how did the GEWE law say? That's just all that part today for us. Because if you go further, it say for appointment of public office made by persons other than the president, at least 30% shall be women. So aside waiting the president they appoint, the people who the president they appoint, other public office the way people in for whole, 30% of them position and therefore be women there. And I waited the 2022 Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Law say. But if you go to section 27 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, where they provide for equality, the protection of everybody, you see, this provision, you say nothing, not for supersede them. Now, subsection 2 of the section 27, it says subject to the provision of subsection 6 and 7 and 8, no person shall be treated in a discriminatory manner. Underline that for me, please. Note that for me. No person shall be treated in a discriminatory manner by any person acting by virtue of any law or in the performance of the functions of any public office or any public authority. You can screenshot or snap this section and take time for read this entire section 27 before you reach beg your pardon, before you reach section 28 of the Constitution. Give me water, please. Give me water, please. Before you reach section 28 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, take time for read the entire section of 27 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone. And then you go see, say, discrimination is one thing where the Constitution frown at. So woman and man them all for be equal and forget equal opportunities and rights. But we don't go ahead and amend certain laws of this country where give rights to certain section of people. So I'd rather use some arguments say, what if persons with disability then say grab one day? Say we are the most vulnerable class. Now we self gets certain quota. What if picking them? We are the most vulnerable of all. Then self grab one day. Say we don't suffer for too long. When mama and papa then separate, how they suffer. Then they left we in arm's way. Now we self get quota. So these arguments are open Pandora's box. After this day in history by Rabiatu Mansare, we will go into the conversation with Honorable Indolo Moyo Gevao, a member of parliament from Kailaon district and a lawyer of long years standing. And Madam Aminata Kelly Lamin, a civil society activist, na salon. But first, this day in history. On this day, 12th of November, some years down the line, a lot of things happen. But let's find out which one Rabia today treats for you.
Every year, on November 12, the world they observe World Pneumonia Day, a global call to action for FET, one of the leading infectious killer for Pikin and vulnerable adults them. The day them first observed inside 2009 by the Coalition for Pikin Health Organization, where the same way so sabi as Global Coalition Against Pikin Pneumonia. Pneumonia, some people then say they claim the lives of over 700,000 picking them within day under 5 every year. They say despite you go able to prevent them and also treat them. The day they encourage government and healthcare partners then for invest per medicine, improve nutrition, reduce air pollution, and strengthen healthcare system for ensure say they diagnose person quick and then treat them quick. This year, they say the simple message where they send now for tell people they say pneumonia are one silent killer. But the world for no say then go able kick and come on the door through vaccine, oxygen therapy, antibiotics, and community awareness.
Shutdown! Rap Rampage Grand Final! It go happen every Friday from December 5th, 2025 to January 17th, 2026 na Freetown Amusement Park, formerly called Victoria Park. Come witness the hot talents of the grand finalists them like Vicky Chain.
Guess it half from the breaches and it's all clear, but if I be your mastermind, I gotta make it all clear.
Sicko Dad!
I no go done if I not start. Show me the blood clot, make a sharp foot. Like that ass.
See Mash!
Sex and talk on it, you don't get any rank ya. Dress code penny, like put that money in a bank ya.
Fifi!
Yeah, I'm tipsy and going hard. Forgive me, Lord, for doing this. I make me dreams before I sleep, then go get and go give me peace. I
spiff up peace!
I did it all nights, man. They see me like a ghost rider. See me so nice, I commit sin like a suicide.
Joy Drizzy!
You know, hide again. I'm the only scat. I still the breathe, but all the man is sky for sees me bread.
Sky Zone!
I put 5 bucks now, Van Damme. You don't tell where you talk, but today you look aram.
Lucky!
Are they awake, boy? The team too big. The movement's not on me one. Say the team too big.
An Inspector General!
This became for full now. When you bounce, say doll. 5 belly again. So I will well up.
As them go set the stage on fire with electrifying performance them. Mark the dates them. December 5th, December 12th, December 19th, December 26th, and January 2nd. Entrance fee na just 40 leons per show. And that's a small money for the kind of experience we go last for lifetime. The beats go drop 8 p.m. sharp. All this go lead to the big awards night and Rap Rampage album launching on January 17th, 2026. Rap Rampage go bring you full dose of music, energy, and culture we go shake the whole city. No miss am. This na the hottest rap battle for the year. Rap Rampage Grand Final. Grab your tickets, bring the hype, and make history together. Proudly brought to you by Orange.
Welcome back. This is today's show on Slick Television on Channel 37 with the option for following on Facebook page Slick TV and YouTube Slick TV Official, website slicktv.com. The conversation get for do with how we all for be equal, but on one side, and say all the finger then at the hand, but they're all not to the same. So again, you get to ask yourself a question. So on one side, would they give right, and on the other side, they take the right. God give you life, and on the other side, they take the life. So, and say all animals are equal in the animal farm. I Robert Foster. say all animals are equal, but there are some animals that are more equal than the others. Honorable H.M. Givao, welcome to the show, sir. Thank you. Madam Kelly Lamin, welcome. Good morning, ma. Honorable, with all of these analysis and all of these scenarios, una grab as members of parliament, una go enact a law. I should say they affect una right now as members of parliament. Demand them especially, whether you get for do with competence, incompetence, or what have you. Una don't get 30% right by force, whether on a leg cam or not leg cam, 30% right to woman them. The constitution, you know, lawyer, it give. Who's going to be the first of all? We want to pass the kind of law then.
Thank you, Patrick. Firstly, allow me to congratulate the owners of this edifice, this investment. I mean, it's quite an impressive investment at the media landscape.
Thank you.
I'm really impressed. This Giwe bill we passed during the 5th Parliament. The Parliament. Collective responsibility. I take responsibility saying that we all pass them, irrespective of the analysis where you don't get so now. But yes, the Parliament pass them.
So whether you be Dede, you not be Dede, doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. In Parliament, we get what we call collective responsibility. Once Parliament get quorum, whatever Parliament does on that particular day is done by the whole House of Parliament. So yes, it's a legal bill. It was passed by all members of Parliament. This constitution gives Parliament the power as the sole legislative body in Sierra Leone. And any other person will pass law, that law in the Parliament now they delegates that power to that person there. So we will get the mandate by the law, by the constitution for make law. We take responsibility for the text of the law, whether it stand the test of time, whether it go against the very constitution we give you the powers. I can tell you, say, yes, now we pass it.
I've been talk to one lawyer friend just like you. You know Boise, right? Yes. Alpha Boise Camara. We spoke extensively last evening. We deliberate upon this provision of the law. Constitution, section 27 precisely, we give rights to everybody, equality. But again, he mentioned to me the affirmative action. But I'll deal first with the 1991 Constitution, section 27. As a lawyer, you don't see that part there for be one way protect everybody. They wanna go and pass a law. What you say ultra virus? One day against the other. They know the eye to eye. And the constitution of the country is supposed to reign supreme.
Even before you go to section 27, Patrick, the principles on which Sierra Leone they thrive on, where they make Sierra Leone a peaceful country, where they make Sierra Leone a country very harmonious, speaks about equality. You see, the principles on which Sierra Leone could be found on, could be based, I will read them for you. Under the fundamental principles of state policy, it says, the Republic of Sierra Leone shall be a state based on the principles of freedom, democracy, and justice. When you come to the motto, it says the motto of the Republic of Sierra Leone shall be unity, freedom, and justice. Now, what in section 27 don't say that we are all equal, equality before the law. And for we don't read history, we don't read government, you don't need to be a lawyer. When you read the rule of law, they say equality before
everybody is equal before the law.
Everybody is equal before the law.
Regardless of your status.
Yes. And that principle...
But on the other hand, the same law give more rights and powers to other people.
Yes. That very principle, the way then the rule of law, where all countries actually imbibe the constitution, I can assure you, say, the bedrock for the peace, harmony with every country they enjoy. Because if me and you, for example, we go school, they go read law, then they say, no, Patrick, you too fine pass give out, we they give you 80, give you A, give out in too tall, we they give and B, definitely chaos get for them at that school day. Okay. Or will they take all the women them na this school year? They no need for sit exams, but because they're a woman, will they give them A? The man them that they normal for study for sit exams. Will they ask them for go through examination? Chaos go there. Or any woman with the case na court. In fact, you no need for come before the judge because you're a woman. You already there at 50% level of success as compared to that man where you get case with. Chaos go there. So with constitution, you look at that one day for making able make sure say the country harmonious and peaceful. It make the discriminatory provision very strong. That nobody they not for discriminate against you because of your sex, your age, your color, your creed, where you come from.
And that's that, look at the constitution,
yes.
Section 27.
Yes. So it make a special provision under Section 27, and that is Part 3.
Yes.
And when you look at Part 3 tells you of, just give me, I'll read the heading of Chapter 3, the recognition and protection of fundamental human rights and freedom of the individual. And under this chapter, you get Section 27. You know, under this chapter, we get Section 27. And this is what 27 has to say. It says, subject to the provisions of subsection 4, 5, and 7, no law shall make any provision which is discriminatory either of itself or in its effect. 2, subject to the provisions of section 6, 7, and 8, no person shall be treated in a discriminatory manner by any person acting by virtue of any law or in performance of the functions of any public officer or any public authority. Then it defines what is discrimination. Inside 3, it says in this section, the expression discrimination means affording different treatment to different persons, attributable wholly or mainly to the respective description by race, tribe, sex, place of origin, political opinion, color, or creed, whereby persons of one such description are subject to disabilities or restriction to which persons of another such descriptions are not made subject, or are accorded privileges or advantages which are not accorded to persons of another such description. So it defines them. So when you look at the law where you just don't reference, even if you canvass all the provisos where you go want for lend credence to them, for the peaceful coexistence of man and woman, when are they or two come at the same gender. When we say gender, like you rightly say, a man and woman, for the peaceful coexistence, we say one not go grumble, the other one not go grumble as per opportunities, positions, slot. I think it could have been better for the text of the Constitution to be strictly adhered to. And taking this Constitution further.
So some of those provisions, for example, the 30% we give special preference to women them for all governance positions and other key positions. In fact, they're in complete contradiction with this Constitution. Hence, it's supposed to be null and void because the law say any law with the in contradiction with the Constitution should be declared null and void.
So you have read this Constitution so very well. You can lecture it.
No, because I get plenty of lawyers when
at section 171, subsection 15, where I go read for the public. Section 171:15 says, "This Constitution shall be the supreme law of Sierra Leone, and any other law found to be inconsistent with any provisions of this Constitution shall, to the extent of the inconsistency, to be null and of void. No effect." The Gateway Bill, I will tell you, is now law. The Gateway Bill, I will tell you, my sister, is a very sensitive topic to discuss.
Sensational one for that matter.
Yes, because it has bestowed right on one section of Sierra Leoneans who by statistics, we are told, are many.
And plenty pass.
Yes.
They say they constitute about 51% of the population.
So it don't actually bestow certain opportunities, facilities for make them enjoy in politics, in political appointment, in economic, in accessing loans, things like that. He don't bestow this facility upon them, you know. So, looking at the text, even though now the duty of the Supreme Court for interpret this provision not to be duty than they, but in my own little opinion, I go say to a very large extent, yes, it violates Section 27 of the Constitution.
So meaning in that regard, all this analysis you argue about within ban, I can talk to Bakar later in the show, and Madam Kelly Laminde as well. We'll have us speak to that issue there. The 30% with the GIWI Act 2022, Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Act 2022, make for give 30% special preference to women then. By now, we're supposed to reverse them. We're supposed to consider them for being null and void.
So like I tell you, it's a sensitive thing. What you will not do in Sierra Leone are the fact that we will not test with laws. One of the powers of the Supreme Court then get original jurisdiction for interpret this constitution. So now you go able to meet another school of thought, like me don't say, from your own lens, I believe say the GIWI Act goes against 27.
Yeah.
And if you implement section 101, 171, subsection 15, then you are right. It not get effect. But you go meet another school of thought, another lawyer, we go talk say, well, because of this proviso is justifiable under democratic tenets. So what any Sierra Leonean can do, which one would have expected any Sierra Leonean to have done, now for going to the Supreme Court for test the law, without anger, anger anybody, whether the GIWI Act is constitutional or it violates the spirit of the Constitution, whether it is in contravention or inconsistent with this Constitution. And the Supreme Court go easily give a brilliant ruling on that one day and lay them to rest, which is what, me feel say, as a nation, we for they do.
And we for don't do before we pass this GIWI law.
Yes, we for don't do, let's say...
Imagine you go through a good number of stages, drafting, consultations. In fact, nationwide consultations then will tell you, you go through reading processes, you get in a call first reading, second reading, and all that. Eventually now, then pass them. In fact, it was an elaborate ceremony in a parliament where they pass them that. In fact, they spent hours deliberating on this law. Eventually, then pass them.
So this brings me to another topic, Patrick. Like I say, Sierra Leone, we're not proactive in doing certain things. We are reactive. Like one ought to have gone to the Supreme Court to say, oh, there is a bill in the pipeline. We want to check whether the text of this bill get to be constitutional, or even immediately with them pass them before the presidential accent. Somebody for don't go to the Supreme Court.
The reason you get the Attorney General and Minister of Justice.
Yes, even after the presidential accent, somebody for don't go test the law. That's what other people do. Let me give you an example. All lawyers today, we believe there are rumors that there is a draft bill where they are about to take away the powers of drafting of conveyance from lawyers. And every lawyer believes...
Through the National Land Commission.
Yes, every lawyer believes it is wrong. So because at the parliament, every lawyer they come meet me say, give out on the left, you don't make this happen, on the left, you don't make this happen. So I talked to one of them for say, look, we can do a petition to the public petition committee in the parliament to say, when this bill come, when I invite you lawyers for give your own contribution to them, for tell the committee, the legislative committee, the pros and cons of conveyance. Because conveyance, when you look at them, you get a conveyancing act. When we get for the actually amend laws, repeal laws, we get for the look at the importance, the legal purport, which side it originate. Why was it that they implant discriminatory provisions in our constitution? Why was it that land law recognized conveyancing? Why is it that now England, we are the greatest democracy, we are from them, we borrow even some of our laws them, you understand? Why is it that they still get the Conveyancing Act? Why conveyancing is still part of the curriculum where then they teach na university and law school? If we just sit down and say we don't get funding, we get for pool conveyancing now and tied to the register by filling form, Which problem we get for creating a society? What thing will happen with all of them conveyance and we done the register since 1863? So when they tear then they happen, now yonder with the focus we learn. We never look at the donors where they come, their young lens, why they want to come with them in their own opinion. We they look at your own circumstance, your own situation, how it will affect you today.
But they're not blind on our eye, they're not all on our throats, quiz on for let do waiting on been supposed to don't do due diligence as members of parliament.
I agree with you. Collective responsibility. I cannot now come to say what we did was wrong or was right. What we did. But even after Parliament does, that's why if everybody, there's room of error. There's room for error. If Parliament does an error, that's why they said a member of the public, we represent you people. Because of representative democracy, you can't have 7 million or 8 million people seated in Parliament. But me representing you, I get the room for make an error. If I make an error there, then the other 6,900,000 people, one of them get the right for go to the Supreme Court to say, look, the representative, the one way the representative don't make a mistake, I want me when I can't tell me whether what that thing what he do, it they inconsistent with the law, with the Constitution.
So Patrick Salia now can grab and go to the Supreme Court and ask, say, let her reverse the Giwi Act. Let's listen to Madam Aminata Kelly Lamine in this regard. Of course, this may be a very huge cry for let this law pass. In fact, I should say most people not been take this aspect of the Constitution, Section 27, into consideration. Well, I don't know for the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, when in office, the law officers departments, and then go table this law in Parliament before it pass, and the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs as well. Now it don't turn out to be so, Madam. Which spirit in the first place been derived this idea for pass this law?
Thank you so much, Salia, and to our listeners out there. Based on waiting. Honorable does say, and in relation to Giwi, we say Giwi we law. So we call her Giwi we law as women. And the Constitution. The Giwi not come out of vacuum.
It not come out of?
Vacuum.
Okay.
It come out on the basis of something.
Which is?
Yeah. And I think historically, if we go back, and I think that's where we should take ourselves. We ask ourselves the question, the Constitution was there. It says there should be no discrimination, as Honorable don't say.
Yes.
Not also,
yes.
Section 27. But from we young perspective, both men and women in this nation realized that women have been discriminated against for so long.
In what sense?
In different ways. Different ways. You talk about education, you talk about different opportunities, so many things that we have been violated. Yeah? And so, considering the fact that we are in numbers and yet discriminated against, no wonder that TRC came out very strongly with regards to that.
Well, from the bulk of the country population, more than 50%, more than 51%.
Yes, but the opportunities and privileges that have been given to you over time as male has been enormous. Has been enormous. We know customarily in our families, they give you so much opportunity when it comes to education. People will prefer for let them boy picking and go school rather than them girl picking them. Then girl picking them are just meant to be married and to bring children into the world.
What of 19th century down there?
Yeah.
19th century.
And that is it. The Constitution was in play when all of these things were happening. Yeah, it was in play. And then that Constitution, the same Constitution, 1991 Constitution, 9 we say there should be no discrimination. Why then was there discrimination? Let we take them from a moral perspective. Legally, we will say it is not right. But then morally, it not get any basis for we as women to have been discriminated against over this long period of time. And so what we are even saying now is not even equality. We are talking about equity. Bring us to a certain level that will be at your own level as men, And then before we begin to talk about that, so the TRC said women have been discriminated against over time.
For far too long.
In this nation, yes. And possibly if I can just read a portion of them, just for let you, we get an insight. It says, Volume 2, paragraph 345, page 171. It says, women and girls in Sierra Leone, before, during, and after the conflict, were subjected to discrimination by practice, custom, and law. Now, the TRC 9 talk. As a result, things that have been happening before the war, you know, and waiting intensified during the war, and even after the war.
So not to custom more or less now before them push for letting adjust instead of the law, because law, you know they will bend law.
Remember, it's a practice, custom, and law.
Yes, practice.
Yes,
practice.
Three aspects.
It starts for solving from the homes.
Nine, 3 aspects. So, in essence, and as much as we are doing our advocacy, we are doing it at all levels. So this what you see emerge is as the higher governance level. Yeah. So we are saying this GIWI did not come as a mistake. It did not come as a mistake.
But it come and violate. You know, like when they say you did have to go up, you go and mass people. So the point that if you did let that way they claim go up, you mass them, you broke the step them, and for Kandong now it's on trouble. No, it come and mass the constitution and now don't violate the constitution.
No, it's just a form of we will call and say reformist equity. Which simply means we are creating, trying to have systems and processes changed so that we get a fairer outcome.
Why we not start from the traditional systems, the traditional institutions, because that this issue of equality difference begin.
Whichever way is a way. Whichever way is a way out. As I say, we do the advocacy from beneath and we do the advocacy from above. Yeah, what you see as a GIWI is an advocacy from above. But then there is so much going on that women are doing, women's rights groups are doing all across the country to conscientize for let we make with people that understand, say, because of what has happened or waiting beyond they happen over time, now bring we to the position where we did so now that even when there is a law, a supreme law that says no, not for discriminate against we, but yet in reality, you and I know, in reality, that we are being discriminated against.
So how the law would change that? Because the law, not to Indian Amios, not to Indian Honor Gevarios, it left to me, for that gives me girl picking on me woman right or wrong. The law hardly going to say I don't do them so until they blow out of proportion. Like the few incidents or cases where they come out of proportion, public.
But then the law is there to be effected. The law is there to be effected. Even at the home level, the law is there to be effected. If you say there should be no discrimination, why were people seated and then girls were left out from being sent to school? You go say na archaic terms Zenandi or principles Zenandi. But it's happening still as we sit here. There are people who are not sending their children to school, and there are laws that says everybody for sending Peking to school. But there are still people who are not sending Peking. Is the law effective? Is the law enforcing? The question is no. So we are now saying what we are asking from a women's rights perspective, it's not anything we are saying a favor the nation they do for we. It's not a favor.
Not a favor?
No, it's not. It's not. And I think my fellow women out there will say it's not a favor. And that is why we pushed for GIWI. And GIWI is just a portion of it. Like you say, elective, appointive, having the right pay, the same pay for the same kind of work, maternity leave, and so on and so forth. These are things conventions have said about it. They see that say we're not for discriminate against we, but yet discrimination is ongoing. The Constitution says there should be no discrimination, but yet there are discrimination within institutions. So whose fault is it?
Madam Lamin,
if we are demanding now for something,
just make you hand them this way. Just make you hand them this way. Honorable, you say make you hand them this way.
I know.
The finger they're not to the same.
They are not.
They're not equal.
They are not.
So is that not natural justice?
You call it natural justice.
Go back to, you're a Christian also.
Yes.
You go back to the book of Genesis. How God make man and woman? And now God make woman. God make woman out of one rib from a man, not so? Me not a pastor, but what will you go on the school?
Then I ask you the question, why did God put man to sleep?
But God saying I want from the rib of man, I take. You not put from the ear, you not put from all the parts of the body.
The way they take it.
Why he puts man to sleep?
Maybe not balance.
Let's see who said it produce woman.
Or for let the man feel pain.
Let not feel pain.
Or maybe an anesthetic here, for let not feel pain.
But at the end of the day, God did it in a manner, that when the man see the woman, what he say? This is the bone of my bones and the flesh of my flesh. So he see the stark reality of himself, and that comes equality. He saw the stark reality of himself. This person. I don't see now, we God don't make. Because he named all other things. He named all other animals, but he could not find a suitable partner. And so what would they say when they talk about discrimination is that don't discriminate against us as women if you want society to thrive.
Now, by that way, the society goes thrive?
Yeah, of course. Give us the privilege that you have, the opportunities that you have, and just give us that leverage that you have. And see what we can do together.
What if we give women the opportunity? I'll go back to the same parliament. Usai Honorable Gevao there. Honorable Gevao might not want to agree with me or disagree with me for certain ethical reasons. But when you go to parliament, that's not to say man they not in a parliament as well. We're not up to speed with the legislative house. But when you look at the quality of representation, it's not the some of the representatives, they don't get the quality. Is that not
on both sides?
Yeah, and I make I say, and that no will mean say, and not talk say the man themselves not get
on both sides.
Yes, but when you look at the quality, you know, would they force forgive people one way would they kind of force forgive people are they up to the ability what they look for?
Of course, me as far as I'm concerned, these men you are now saying. I'm not challenging you people, but these men you are now saying, it's because they had the opportunity over time. That's why you think they can sit there and be represented. Yeah? So it is just a matter of giving us too the same opportunity, and you can see what we can do. And this is the stepping stone. And I think Giwi has created that opportunity for us.
You will feel bad if this very law, the petition in our court?
We'll challenge it. We'll challenge it seriously. We challenge it seriously. But I'm just grateful that we are having a constitutional review process. Yeah?
But that constitutional review
process... So we are having a
constitutional
review process, and we have said, in fact, we are lobbying, and will continue to lobby, that most of the issues that women have raised in relation to the Giwi and that of the Constitution, we ensure that most of them are entrenched. So that no other person comes tomorrow, he sleep now in left hand, he grab, he say, something has to be done against it. No. So that's what we are doing.
Honorable Gevao, while this law would have been passed in a parliament, by right, any time when they make an adjustment to any law, where they in contravention with the Constitution had to be amended or has to be amended accordingly for fitting that one, not so? So meaning it been left with on the back for amend that section 27 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone. Just like we other adjustment and they don't make in certain laws, but they are yet to be reflective in the Constitution for amend the appropriate section of the Constitution for fitting that very law they pass.
Yeah, thank you.
I give you, for example, the death sentence.
As a lawyer,
then pull the death sentence, but fail for amend, for example, the ordinance of the life imprisonment.
As a lawyer, my dear, they get some difficulty because, like you rightly say, the Constitution is not the grand norm, not the grandpapa, all the laws in Sierra Leone. So if you make any law, it will be consistent with the Constitution. So if you feel say this law will make, it get the slightest opportunity for impact the Constitution, come inside the Constitution for amend that provision so that it go in line, it go the balance. So let's say the death penalty, we remove the death sentence that the offenses against the Persons Act to amend them. But we left the provisions inside the Constitution for say they can deprive you of of your life if they find you guilty of like murder, treason, and the like. They, okay? So what we for been don't do as well, if we been get rid of them totally with the kind of the constitution, we get rid of them. So we don't get rid of the punishment, but we don't get rid of the law we inside the constitution. I mean, the same with this, the same with the death penalty again, when you come to them. The Prisons Act, they tell you, say, for purposes of remission, life imprisonment means
30 years.
30 years. And when you take 30 years, you remove remission. Remission, from your understanding, are 30% of the years where they don't sentence you. So if a judge sentenced somebody to life imprisonment and the Prisons Act, the Prisons Director want for implement that law, the person where they sentenced to death, na 30 years, they don't sentence her for.
And each year, you pull
3 months. Or 4 months.
3 months, you pull all the weekend then.
Yes.
All the weekend then inside the year, they constitute up to 4 months.
So when you take remission, okay.
So meaning the person for go prison for 1 year and 8 months for serve.
Yes. So if na 30 years, it will go for 21 years. When you ask me your candid belief, you say, Geva, what is your understanding about life imprisonment? Life imprisonment means you for go spend the rest of your life na prison. I mean, on the day of this bill, I remember my brother Umar Fufana, we've been there out there, we they look at the laws, we they juxtapose the Prisons Act, this act. Now I make like Justice Ivan Sisi of blessed memory, when even they get the opportunity, he not the sentence life imprisonment because he say at least 30 years. In they give 80 years, because we don't give 80 years, I let them put remission. So you go down there sometimes 40 years, before that 10 days you don't go.
I remember also Justice Monfred Sisi being sentenced. Was it Monfred Sisi? I think so. Being sentenced 3 society man them.
Yes.
So 70 years each. So equal for murder and conspiracy.
Yes.
Each count 70 years. So meaning each person for go 140 years.
Yes. So what in Parliament?
Then kill one woman. We come out now doing the secret society performance. So the case been day before.
Yes.
So when the sentence then 3, then 4, the one he acquitted and discharged him because he hadn't been tied. And he be the husband. He not be get way for let defending wife. And because they get picking them, so the judge free them. So they feed them a sentence each of them to 140 years for 2 of the counts.
Yes. So credit to Parliament. Most times when we pass laws, like when they pass the Sexual Offences Act, we get for CAMNA the Child Rights Act. We look at all of the acts and we affect the Sexual Offences Act. We amend, so that they don't go conflict with each other when they go out. But like with the death penalty, we are yet to amend the Prisons Act. So like you rightly say, I don't say the GIWI Act is bad, sensitive, it's discriminatory on the surface, because I'm not a Supreme Court judge. When the moment you look at Section 27, they say it's discriminatory. It's now subjected to the argument of other pundits and other lawyers and the canons of interpretation where the Supreme Court go use and the like. So like the very Constitution also, that area where you made the act, the very Constitution give you the right for going to court. But what it made me feel say, like what they say, what it made me feel say, or what it made me feel say we for do going ahead, forget a fair and balanced society. Now for do what they then do under Section 74 of this Constitution. It says members of Parliament shall comprise the following: 1 member of Parliament from each district who shall, subject to these provisions of this Constitution, be elected in such a manner as a way of... So yeah, they give room for paramount chiefs then. Okay?
From each district?
Yes. So the Constitution, the election of paramount chiefs, then 1 paramount chief, is captured in the Constitution. So we be one made the paramount chiefs...
And not say female paramount chief or male paramount chief?
We be one made the paramount chiefs them as traditional leaders be represented in the Parliament. The Constitution capture them. Say every district for return 1 paramount chief, and then set the models where they elect them.
The Constitution itself is conflicting. It conflicts itself. It give right to somebody in one hand, it take them in the other hand.
Yes.
That's not natural justice.
Yeah, no.
It's not fair.
So you see say
more legal.
Yes, you see say it give room for paramount chiefs then for the representative. So what I would have thought, or going ahead, what I would think if we want to have a parliament that is based on gender representative, professional representation, age bracket representation, if that's the way we want to go, we can capture it in our new constitution.
Yes, for example,
we
the
can
persons
say
with disability will say,
we can say like the mass media, journalists, then forget 10%. Okay? 10% of every district, representation from every district. Lawyers, they forget 10% representation in every district. People with disability. So in such a way,
not to bench who go put in parliament for
so in such a
because
way,
it's enough seats not going to send
when you say 10%, it still boils down to the same number.
The same number,
So
the same
let's say-
quota system.
So let's say Kailahu, if you don't give women then 30%, you don't give them 3.
Yes.
You give lawyers, you give journalists then 10%, you don't give them 1.
Yes.
You give lawyers then 1%, you don't give them 1. You give you understand what
Persons
I
with
mean?
disability
So
from Kailahu.
outside the same 10, when the population quota represent Kailahu, we represent the 10 seat, you don't distribute them amongst across
Various districts.
various brackets.
Yes.
Journalists, lawyers, women.
The persons with
Yeah,
disability,
but what in
and
we-
possibly by extension picking them.
What in the constitution they really guide against not discrimination, equality before the law.
And that already, some male members of parliament, will say, they even affect them.
No, it goes without saying. We've been get some brilliant MPs then, like one of my brother, Honorable Sama Sandi. He was one of the most brilliant MPs at the SLPP bench. He ousted out because of the Giwe bill. There's a possibility I will be ousted out.
And the person will replace him, no, they up to.
Well, I can't comment to that.
Yeah, I know for ethical reasons you can't.
I can't.
Yes.
But like it naturally get to affect you. Okay, let's take Kailang for example. There are 10 seats. You have to return 3 women. Okay, and of those 3 women, let's say you have actually won in one of the constituencies, but a woman had come second to you, but the woman quota has not been met. Definitely, they will have to drop you for the woman quota to be met. You understand?
Whether the woman get the substance, get them.
Well, like I say, I will not comment to that. But there is also one thing I can always tell people. You get women then like Honorable Wiyata Songa. You get women then like Honorable Yai. You get women then a parliament, Zainab Catherine. Where you the man, you get for tie you order, you get for tie you belt, even politically, for me kuna go na that constitution, na that constituency, you intimidate them, you beat them. They can stand up to any man at any point in time.
But the one that didn't come to parliament, for example, before the 30% quota come,
yes, that's
come
what
into
I'm
force.
saying. They can stand
So why not let them on a fair basis, for let everybody compete on a competitive basis?
That is how it had been. And women had always come.
Honorable Catherine kind of parliament before 30%. Honorable Wiyata Soyenga also.
Honorable Veronica Kadisi.
Yes.
I mean, you have very strong.
But Honorable Veronica Kadisi is the longest serving MP so far at this parliament.
So you have women who have stood the test of time. It no matter whether you're a man, you get phone or you hear, you get women that when they believe in the fact, say, it is my time, I have the right, then go campaign, then go all over, like you said, the campaign, you know, go intimidate them, because one of the arguments will be intimidation.
Yes.
You're not able to intimidate them, they will make their case, they will win the symbol, they will win the elections, they will come to parliament, they will debate, they will do anything that a man can do. We have a good set, Honorable Zombo, you get a good set of those women in parliament. You understand? Me, not one person will really believe, say, a woman should be protected in politics. I think there are women who can do what a man can do. And society don't so become refined that I not see a man that really go intimidate a woman because he want for
bullion.
For bullion. When I'm in the run from a symbol, I run with my mama, when I be honorable, with my mama, Madam Dama James. One day near into no get argument. We not even ever meet span campaign. The only time we'll meet one-to-one now when we go sit down now with them to vote for a symbol. And that respect I get from her as a mother had continued and will continue for life. Okay? So she contested, she campaigned in her own way, I campaigned in her own way. Maybe you will say men could be very more vigorous. But that fist fight now, that stand for pull, say, would they go pull society and this woman, it's gone. in the political landscape.
Not true. You go to the north, woman they be paramount chief, for example.
No, when they talk about general election, you know they talk about.
No, you they talk on the political
landscape, the landscape. You know they say again, where will they go for symbol? Go to Kailan. If you can't, they go pull society for you. It's wrong. Those practices now the general.
Why don't they happen? And then they, Madam Kelly, maybe they talk about not so.
Yeah, it's wrong, but it's still happening.
It's been a long time.
It's wrong, but it's still happening. Oh, they even talk about paramount chiefs. The current one, I just know one. Because
just one woman out of the paramount chief MPs in the parliament?
Thank you.
Ah, okay, yes, I think I remember that.
So you begin to see the imbalance. So what we are talking about here is the imbalance on the imbalance between you people and we the women. And we are talking about gender here. It's man and woman. Yeah. So we are saying, give us this opportunity so that we come to, as I say, we are not even talking about equality
let me help you,
for now.
Let
It's
me
just
help
equity.
you there again. So now you see, Patrick,
It's an
how
imbalance.
difficult it is to implement the full text of the Giwe Bill. The Constitution says one paramount chief from every district. How do you capture the Giwe Bill now for women paramount chiefs to be represented 30% amongst the paramount chiefs that are returned?
It's just a matter of reviewing the Paramount Chief Act.
You
it.
You understand?
So that customary
and the Constitution too. Because the Constitution says one paramount chief for every
Exactly.
So how do you capture the text of the Giwe Bill, you understand, to reflect female representation of paramount chiefs amongst the set of paramount chiefs that come? She's right. Out of 16 districts, right? We have one female.
Just one.
One female.
Yes.
No, out of 14 districts.
Honorable
And
Nima Kadri. You understand? That's true. But also, like she rightly mentioned, customs and traditions, some of it are not captured in this constitution.
Because now not, for example, woman they be paramount chief.
Of course.
And Kono and Kailan.
So
woman they be paramount chief.
What is that? How do you call that?
So
how do you call that, Salia? Is that not a discrimination? Is that not discrimination? And the law, the Constitution is saying nobody should be discriminated against.
So how
do we balance this?
I agree with her again. The Giwe Bill goes against the spirit of the Constitution. There are practices in our country that also discriminates against women. Tradition.
So now make us start off with, for example,
tradition.
And who should manage it?
Tradition. So
who is supposed to enforce?
So the tradition,
eliminate and enforce it.
If we say again we are going to refine all traditional and customary practices, we lose it. Culture. Some nations are built on the foundation of customs and tradition.
And that is our point now. And
that which discriminates against one part of the gender should be eliminated.
But Madam Kelly, I mean, you will adjust the law, but cultural practice no will change.
But that which discriminates against one part of the gender should be eliminated.
When it comes to the economy, people
should be eliminated.
People believe, say, in fact, the SMEs, the SME industry, the SME sector,
the small medium
enterprises. Now, women and dominator. So, what's this thing where women they talk about discrimination and lack of protection in society?
You say now we dominator.
Yes.
The recent study, I guess, where Bandu.
Yes, Budget Advocacy Network.
Yes, they tell you, say, in spite of the fact that na woman then dominate this sector, you find out, say, even when it comes to contract, that's small. I think, if I'm right, is it some 7%,
yes,
depending, and
sometimes
the quantum,
4 out of 10.
Yes, and the quantum of the resources is very minimal. So men are still, even though we dominate, men are still in control. So we are saying that is the point we are saying. In all of the sector, we find out, say, in as much as women, we're in the high number, yet most of the things that we do.
25%
Thank you. 25% female participation.
Procurement.
Yes.
Conflicting with 30% requirement.
We'll not even reach that 30%.
So that's 5% short.
Yes. Where would they talk about? So, Salia, some of these things are going to say no more. Now, a reformist action. All of this is just to create situation, the systems and processes, so that we will able to forget that balance and remove the imbalance.
So why not be don't start first of all by engaging the paramount chiefs? Because they're more or less like custodians of waiting honorable mention, where we all know, say, we are bounded by customs and traditions. We are bounded by customs and traditions.
Customs and traditions are made by men.
A man, the maker?
No, a men.
Oh, general.
Yes.
General. So can be adjusted.
Of course. That is my own viewpoint.
So
it can be adjusted.
But honorable gets a difference.
I hold a contrary view.
Can be adjusted.
There are certain institutions that if you adjust them, you'll be destroying the very fabric on which your nation was built. Let's take the monarchy in England. You cannot take the last born to make a king when the firstborn is alive. You understand? Now hierarchical. If you're not the first king, where the man born or where the queen born, the moment he die, now you're not king. Not also. If you go outside that realm, you go take now the best footballer, David Beckham. You can't make him king. Then you don't spoil the foundation. Same as you see when you take monarchy in England, you take a paramount chieftaincy. Our paramount chiefs were called kings. King Naibana, King Jimmy, until where the wait man can say, no, we no more for be king, we not for be paramount chiefs then. You understand? So if they find out, say, the succession pattern in monarchies and the succession pattern in paramount chieftaincy are more like the same, even though we don't make we own our electoral. But even for that electoral, for me you contest the election, you get for be here apparent, you get for don't come from the lineage, you understand, of a ruling house. So you see say they are a king. So if you say they can adjust that one day, perhaps make an open for democratic purposes that anybody get the right for contest for paramount chief, you don't actually destroy the very fabric of the values where in our society also depend on. Okay, so like we all say, if we all agree to say the spirit of the Giwe bill is discriminatory, it violates the Constitution, and we are at the verge of doing a constitutional review, then
we don't take the very longest time.
It is something that this
and it almost like you know for happen.
This part of the gender that are benefiting from it is something they have to hold very firmly to ensure that it is so included, like she rightly stated, in the Constitution, like the representation of paramount chief is so included. Because trust you me, one day somebody will get up and challenge it, and the Supreme Court that has the mandate will interpret it, and I will not tell you how it will go.
I'm not surprised if it come up from a male politician, where they would discriminate against her for symbol.
I'm not going to surprise me. I always tell somebody, I am a lawyer, I've practiced for 22 years, but I don't have the lens of any of the Supreme Court judges. I don't have the brain of any of the Supreme Court judges. Until you are made a Supreme Court, then God bestowed a Supreme Court judge, then God bestowed that special knowledge on you. How you look at this Constitution, when you no more get the sacred responsibility for say, na black or na white. So one day, like this discussion has started now, I don't have an option but to come and lend my voice to it as a member of the public, as a lawyer, as a politician. One day this discussion will reach a point where somebody will just say, out of in extra time, not to against anybody, it will just invoke the section, it will just invoke section 28. We say, subject to the provisions of section 4, if any person allege that any of the provisions of section 16 to 27 inclusive has been, is been, or is likely to be contravened in relation to him by any person, or in case of a person who is detained, if any other person alleges such a contravention in relation to the detained person, then without prejudice to any other action with respect to that same matter which is lawful, available, the person or other person may apply by motion to the Supreme Court for redress. You understand? So this section,
we're also applicable to section 27.
Yes.
For redress at the Supreme Court.
Yes. This chapter, somebody could come to say, I want to test the law.
Okay.
You know, and it might just go, the Supreme Court might just say, the Giwe bill is constitutional. The Supreme Court might as well say, from the text of it, it is not constitutional. It is in contravention with the Constitution, and it's null and of no effect.
All right, well, they can talk to Abubakar Tarawali.
That they don't know who can.
That they don't know who can?
Because we women will rise up.
When I go rise up,
Yeah.
but when I not go wage war.
No.
Anyways.
Because the TIC is the basis.
But the TIC, not to the Constitution either.
It's not the Constitution, but it's also, remember, say history. History should shape a society.
Okay. So let me say this.
History should shape a society.
When, like she's saying, when you look at the intention of the Giwe bill, the intention is brilliant. She just made a very salient point. 14 members of parliament, 1 woman.
From all paramount chiefs.
From all paramount chiefs.
And we do not see that as discriminating.
It is highly likely. It is highly likely.
So the paramount chief, they not get 30% quota.
It is highly likely.
When are they forced to start?
Yes. It is highly likely that but for the Giwe bill, or if the Giwe bill had not been in existence, we could not have had the number of female MPs in parliament.
That's so possible.
So, when you argue this, you look at the intention, you look at the point whether the lack of presence of women in parliament has been as a result of the male dominance leading to the discrimination of the male part of the gender as against the women, and how you be able to cure them. And then you ask, has this solution to cure it contravened the spirit of the Constitution, or has it not? If yes, how do we solve it in such a way that it now sits in line or in tandem with all of our laws?
All right. We can continue this conversation shortly. We'll turn the audience to public. I'll talk to Abubakar Tarawali in a short while. We'll just take a few calls. 072-500-442. 072-500-442. Remember, we'll do a presentation earlier about the procurement landscape, and then we'll talk to Madam Kelly Lamin shortly about women dominating the petty trading business or small, medium enterprise landscape. But yet, they continue to say they suffer. In all of this, Budget Advocacy Network couldn't do a study around this. We can talk to them in a short while on this. 072-500-442. You can call me and join the conversation from wherever you watch me, across the country, across the world, on various platforms on Channel 37, or Facebook page Slick TV, or website slicktv.com, or YouTube Slick TV Official. Again, Honorable Hindolo Moyo Gevao, a lawyer and a member of parliament from Kailaun district. Madam Aminata Kelly Lamin, a civil society activist, a seasoned civil society activist. I'm sure the same 20 or so. You don't take more than 20 years now the activism space.
Over.
A brilliant one too.
A brilliant one for that matter. So you don't fit for even the parliament without even an election. We'll get a call on the line. Hello? Yes, good morning.
Fine. I just want to talk about that woman within our studio for their culture. Like we on paramount chief, now lineage, and you know go take woman, you can't put her under now disgraceful because now we own culture, now we own tradition. So it's not fine for we today, it's not fine for we tomorrow. So if in the advocate say for let them count the 30% quota, we then count for the parliament, let them count it back now that chieftaincy business, it's not go possible because we don't set with cultures and traditions. We don't set them in all means. Where then they get their young no man no they take part now, none of their activities. Because now the culture say no man no for take part in. And likewise the same thing to Poro society when they say no woman no for take part in. So we culture for respect them. Now lineage. If you not the woman now you not the first picking for the chief will die. If the chief die, now you go end up for be the paramount chief. But if not, we not for change we tradition for women that we are really big.
All right. Interesting conversation. In and out of these studios. 072-500-442. That's the number for call. Madam Kelly, I mean, this issue of paramount, the tradition they first over start. Customs and tradition, they get that person there. I'm sure a good number of people will get a call on the line. Let's take this call as well. Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, your name and where you calling from, please.
It's not Sheka Bookface.
Yes, Sheka, go on, please.
Yes, fine discussion. But like me, I don't follow this gender equality for a very long time. And if you say, you know, one permitted woman is lazy, you know, what of the other women fight? They fight for their space, you know. We see now Liberia, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf fight, she became president of Liberia. We see other countries, but Salon, the woman they always advocate when they give them 30%, not laziness that. And the spirit of section 27, chapter 3, it makes them very, very clear. Yes, certain practices and they will not discriminate women, but not to law. Now practice, individual practice, family practice. And with time we see say it change. It change. We see say girl picking they go school now. Everybody want to girl picking go school now. We see first day not be that happen. So certain families, certain traditions, you know. So I believe that with time, you know, the awareness will come. We are in just like we give up today. First of all, they see the retreat woman, they want to go into politics, they intimidate them. Now, it never happen. So I just believe that with time, the awareness will come, women will get a space, but for give them 30%, even within a year, for distribute that 30% a problem. You know, a decision and laziness the one day.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, 072 500 442. Now the number where you go call me and join the conversation. But la kindly appeal to you where you call. The moment where your phone begin, you get we turn down the volume of your TV set so that no will get negative feedback now. You self no will look for your ear, yeah. So turn down the volume of your TV set. The moment your phone begin, we'll get a call on the line. Good morning. Oh, we lost that one day. That one in like where you food dinner your mouth and you want for whistle. The food they come on your mouth. So you're not going to talk and you want for your yourself at the same time while they call me. Yeah? Turn down the volume of your TV the moment your phone begin. 072 500 442. Interesting, forget the reactions from wherever. We'll take some of our comments and shortly on Facebook. But Madam Kelly Lamine, quickly, there are these comments and reactions so far.
I agree the last caller.
You don't agree with and saying a laziness?
30% are laziness. No. From women's perspective, it's not about laziness. It's about managing the imbalance in society.
The public exam results already come the BNTM. They show say women them their attendance and participation in the exam far outweigh the man them.
Yes, I agree.
Then they're not being given 30% for go school for that day.
No.
No long no they will been say they forget 30% of girl picking them for go school for let them pass exam.
Yes, but that's just the basis, the beginning. You know, the beginning.
Patrick, how do you distribute 30% in the
education
presidential office?
Oh, so President, you first of all for don't share office with him. He gets his wife. He gets his wife.
No, the office of the president includes the president and the vice president.
But again, wife. You not seen that the wife perform the ceremony in that Poppy Day, front ministerial building in the absence within Nigeria.
They say the intention is brilliant. I always say the intention to have women step out, women visible, women represented is brilliant. Goes without saying, because I will tell you, the move or the deliberate intention of the president to appoint women in strategic positions in this 6th parliament of in reign don't prove very good results. I mean, you get the Minister of Communication.
In fact, it's over.
Yes,
30%.
it's over 30%. The president in
appointive positions,
is far over 30%. I mean, you get the Minister of Communication. Right now, look at us on television. All the televisions have not fallen on the ground because of that aspect is not working. You get civil aviation. I mean, this is not the time we don't get one of the most brilliant civil aviation director general in the sub-region, Africa, when a woman. You get, even when you can at parliament, you get the head of the president caucus, female caucus, where they make waves. Now the sub-regional and continental. You know, so women, I believe, should actually be given the opportunity to also occupy the spaces that men should. But the bottom line...
But on merit.
Is it
in line with the Constitution.
In line with the Constitution.
All right, so that now waiting, una the lawyer them hold on to in that regard. But anyways, thank you very much, Honorable Hindolo Moiwo Gebao, for your time. It's been nice talking to you. Madam Kelly Lamine, quickly, you want to say anything in closing?
I just want to say that society should be more considerate. Considerate in the fact that discrimination has been something long and overdue. And so we are now saying, give us this opportunity. And these are the opportunities we are looking for. And we want to occupy the space so that we can help society to thrive.
All right, we will talk to Abubakar Tarawale in a short while. Quick comment from Facebook. Key Factor blog says, sometimes in trying to fix one imbalance, we end up creating another. The GIWI Act was meant to promote equality, but it is now clashing with our Constitution, which already guarantees equal rights for everyone. Should opportunity be based on gender, on merit? It's a question there. Thank you very much to my guest, Madam Aminata Kelly Lamine, a seasoned civil society activist, on the gender side especially in this conversation, and Honorable Hindolo Moiwo Gebao, a lawyer and a member of parliament from Kailaun district. Thank you also very much for your time.
Thank you, Patrick.
After the health tips by Paulina Bendu Samba, we will talk to Abubakar Tarawale from Budget Advocacy Network. Earlier, we presented the aspect of discrimination in procurement practices in the salon. So you can tell me basically in the SME sector, an informal sector, where more or less we believe in a woman and dominate. Why is that happening according to the findings? That will be in a very short while, but then it will come after the health tips.
How you go live life on your own standards but with class. You see, life not a competition. All man gets your own pace and your own story and your own way for enjoy in life. The secret now for make peace with whosa you dey, and you go still move with grace and confidence. So tip 1, you get for define your standards. Ask yourself, wetin really matter to you? Maybe na peace of mind, cleanliness, how you dey dress, or how you dey even talk to people them. When you know your standards, nobody go shake your style. Tip 2, classy no mean expensive. Classy mean clean, organized, respectful, and confident. You go even wear simple clothes, but you can carry yourself with pride and respect and still be classy. Tip 3, take care of you inside and you outside. Eat well, sleep enough, and keep your environment neat. Now so your mind go fresh and your body go glow, and now that's not true class. Tip 4, talk and act with wisdom. Not join all kind argument or gossip. Know when you for talk and when you for keep quiet. Classy people are not loud, then peaceful and then sure of themselves. Tip 5, be content and not be lazy. Appreciate what you get, but still work for what you want. For live life on your standards not mean say you not get dream. It means say you do grow with peace and purpose. So no matter usa you dey or what you dey do, as you head up high, live clean, talk kind, and stay true to yourself, because real class not to show off. It there for self-respect.
Ultimate hip-hop shutdown! Lamba Pit Grand Final! It go happen every Friday from December 5th, 2025 to January 17th, 2026 na Freetown Amusement Park, formerly called Victoria Park. Come witness the hot talent of the grand finalists them like Vicky Chain.
Guess they have from the preachers, and it's all clear. But if I be your mastermind, I gotta make it all clear. The
Sicko dad,
I no go done if I not start. Show me the blood clot, make a shop foot. Like that ass.
see mash.
Sex and talk body, you don't get any rank here. Dress code penny, like put them.
All right, in continuation of that conversation earlier, we'll begin with Honorable Hindolo Ogevao and Aminata Kelly Lamin on the imbalance between the Constitution and the GIWI Act. Now, Budget Advocacy Network earlier will be they present, then put out a study where they paint women them for be discriminated against in the business sector. In fact, women them, according to studies, different studies, and saying that them dominates the informal business sector, meaning them small, medium enterprises, them petty trading more or less. If you check all about the place, and women them more or less they see that then the old peppermints and other businesses and they parade the streets for make ends meet. But in this study, they say more or less 25% of women the way they participate in national public procurement for get contract for procurement business, and then no more they take part. Then they get a 5% shortfall for meet up the GIWI Act. Abubakar Tawa leader with me in the studios here. We'll discuss this shortly. Abubakar, now on which spirit this came in the first place?
Plenty, thank you, Salia. So we're going for a look at this thing from a number of evidence. We prove the fact, say, you premise the conversation on discrimination, and you say let them left and so. But one thing I want to make very clear, constitutional equality is different from lived equality. Constitutional equality, they tell you, say, what amount we all are the same before the eyes of the law. But the lived reality, they tell you, say, because there has been this long history of discrimination against female gender, now it make we, the reformist civil society actors, would they bring about the concept of equity. Equity, not to equality. And like we, me and you two tin up, you understand? You want to go Spain, I want to go Spain. But you transport not do. But me only do it left. For let me and you two go Spain, I get for take by you reserve.
You call Australia.
You join Antonio, then we travel together.
For go Australia.
When we reach, they're not going to know whether in transport not be do, whether you won't be exceed. You understand me? So equity is about giving some extra support so that you go look at that particular agenda, it just measures, say, that beginning on the past. You know what did happen before? When there was no awareness about the GIWI, then they stop at secondary school level. Most of them know they end up in university.
Beke Muslim.
Beke was. So now, this study, now one among series of studies, for example, the downward revision of the GST. Like you say, woman them plenty, pass man them. But we, the government, they ready for put law. They know they do gender audits. They know they do gender analysis for make sure, say, this law, who do I get for effect? If na business law or na law we get for Kangov and trade, na woman them but could they pass man them up. But when man then they do business, then they get profits more than the woman them, despite them boku, because of the investment area. If man get shop, he get a boutique, he able run am. So it will be formally registered, they pay taxes. So if you go China, you do input GST, it able for go reclaim them na NRA. But if the woman they weigh boku, but then a small, for let them go able for go import something from China, pass and go into pool, they come together, they send one person. Because if 10 pay aeroplane tickets, almost go left by the business. So put, to give this person, you go buy China, but where they come for clear this good? If they pay input GST. But at the end of the day, you not get for able for go reclaim them because you not formally register. And then they give the input GST to a formal entity. So what did happen? In GST we pay, they left there. You understand? And the GST not to the business person for PM. The business person they collect them on behalf of the government. So that means the final consumer now a responsibility that one day. for pay.
Maybe
But now the business owner
maybe they go buy or seek the service.
Now the business owner they go buy now this good, he pay GST, no go able to claim am because of the informality. So they try for say gender macroeconomic lens for come into play for let avoid discrimination. Because if not to that, he left man, he left woman. You self don't talk say now man them first make. And they take him, they make woman. Meaning the two trend not to the same.
Yeah.
So if we all for coexist, man they live comfortable in this life if you get a partner where they're too compatible. Right? Now two they develop. But in that empowerment, if now one man no more they go, I get an example with somebody when a graduate, a man na graduate, it is support the home. And in fact the man they receive less. You understand? But so say that man they go graduate tomorrow, he begin for hand to his scale. That woman they don't contribute a lot. Why? Because he be educated. So you go look at and say, we own perspective now that if women they contribute to the economy, in terms of the procurement contracts from the data, and then they receive the least value in terms of offer. And historical data don't tell you say man they more than woman, they don't they benefit from national resources. It comes to the budget, direct budget execution. Other than the benefits, now more man than woman. So from ban, we don't they look at and say the government try for consider the aspect of gender responsive budgeting. So that when in the plan how woman and man they benefit equally from the budget. So if we come to contract, there was a time in the Finance Act 2015 where the minister, no less a person, Minister of Finance be proposed for say 30% of all the procurement contracts for go to women-led businesses. Then as a means for support, let them grow economically.
But this one study now show say they get 5% shortfall.
No, this 5% is now the leadership in terms of who for them at the board.
For procurement.
For procurement. That means if women and they win at them for shortlist contract to them, responsive bidders, they want woman representation at that leadership structure.
Okay.
But the NPPA Act say 25%, whereas the GW Act say 30%. So you see say even the laws them where they come for support the gender equality, then they conflict one another. So that's one
and
area.
And then say 4 out of 10 they admit say they get experience of corruption, and then sexual harassment, exploitation, financial constraints, gender stereotypes that mean becoming a woman.
So you see, so that a proof for tell you say discrimination they happen to the female gender. Just because we demand that position, imagine now me there at the procurement board, I for evaluate, now bid their own, I don't submit. I fall for you, I say, well, before you get this contract, I fall in love with you. We get testimony in a report and the way woman say, he willing forgive her 5% of sexual pleasure for let win 500 million contracts. So it tells you that then they do but not with their willingness. Now because of the male dominance in society. So the GW Act actually is a correction of the historical discrimination where we don't go on, when in fact it should not be the case. Okay. We're supposed to benefit equally from state resources as the men as well as women get equal access. Imagine when you go to school, you sit in the same class as the girl picking. For some reason, you continue to university. For some reason, that guy picking drop out. There must be factors. Sometimes that girl picking where they go to school, you know whether they get a lunch. Somebody they really offer a lunch, but not for free. In the event he get belly, it drop out. Because he get for care for himself, he get for care for picking. So if I now say the retention rates for guy picking there they drop compared to boy picking there where they go to start school to complete them. Whereas we also know say poverty they permeate between the two genders, men and women. But some man they no matter how it can tell he must go to the last end, at least first degree, at least masters, you understand? But women, most of them are not in the camera because of the motivation and the awareness and the belief that the government don't begin see to them plight, and that if they all sober, they self go count to that level where man than they. So the data they always will try for bring out in the procurement, in the GST, in other studies where you get for compare how man and woman be done the benefit in society. Now for just give evidence to government and duty bearers. so that when they develop policies, they for do so with gender consideration. Because until we talk about gender care economy, if you right now you don't can work, so until you have in a house, you have actually na occupation as housewife, but she's not been paid for being a housewife. You don't get salary. So at the end of the day, if you go home, you get comforts. Now that woman they do am. If you go home, you meet you picking a well taken care of. Now the woman do am. Now some country then, that in a job line. You understand? Then they take people there, they read kadama. We sister the way they go now. The Arab country. When they tell you say kadama na servant to Arabic yes. Now the job that they go pay them so for go do nani work. But salon, woman then they do that one day, they not get payment.
So they say that they're picking them.
Fine, they're picking them, but when you the man, not to you picking back, you equally forget that carry to the picking, same as the woman. So imagine now you the man, you jobless, the woman get job. You left na house, you go equally do that same thing there. But you know the easy for man because when you take and say we are the dominant sex, we the man there. So the woman then are there for do the back home.
And so God make life.
So no, not to so God make out. Now so we define them.
Okay.
Because again, other countries where the chef then among them. If you go as a woman and you even believe say you can cook.
In fact, the best chef then at the world, now.
So fine. So now I make her say now stereotype. Now wait till we accept say this is not the preferred role for men. This is not the preferred role for women. So coming to this, we dey try for say, especially now that the government they prepare the Finance Act. Let them consider some of the recommendations that they reported. And thankfully, the day na we website and with social media handles, so that at the end of the day, if you get for camp say na the Finance Act, government will know say you are really desperate for raise domestic revenue. But equally the woman then now key player then at the sector, but then strength not be like man them. Let them consider laws them way na gender sensitive laws or the gender macroeconomic lens, we go make sure say the woman then go pay tax and not grumble. As well as we get the appropriate tax so they give to men businesses, we equally go bring the domestic revenue as we all need. And if you look at it procurement wise, the reason why they get the opportunity for implement the GRE Act and that there's a margin of preference where they can look at how many people, because they get the data from year to year. If there's this same man and not the benefit more than woman there, they can use the margin of preference and draft in some women-led businesses.
Okay.
And when you look at that study there, we look at all the procurement types, the national competitive bidding, the international bidding, and the request for quotation, RFQ. We see the numbers. We say women, the more they go for in terms of contract compared to man. You count to contract value. The man then they get high contract values in the procurement world. Where the woman then they go, even though if they get boku contracts, but sometimes they go be on catering. Sometimes for supply
low value areas.
Yeah, low value areas. So it means say that they help them for develop quick. And when you look at the informality, mainly now because of lack of capital. So woman then before they start business, sometimes my boyfriend don't get money. Say well, instead of they give you money every now and then, what about I give you 5 million, go start business? That woman they get for sustaining self. So if there is a way where women they get incentives, you understand? Because when you look at the data, you also get an element of single-headed homes, where women then are at the head.
Mm-hmm.
So and
in case
the
of
separation, yeah, separation or other things, natural disaster or death. You understand? If that woman then they go sell, most of we colleagues then now we don't become people in our society. So some of them then are plazas them they sell, they raise they go college. Some then are paper market, some then are fana. So imagine you get for pay school fees, you get for also take care of daily sustenance, you get for pay rent, you get for take care of light bill. You understand? It is a lot. And if one grow the economy, we see say this is an alternative area formalizing the informal sector. Because when you formalize them, that informal sector, you bring them into the tax bracket. We go make them go qualify for big pay tax. As long as they remain informal, their contribution to the economy is small because apart from a few we go import, where in that case they go pay input GST. A lot of others are petty traders. When you look at the same study back, they tell you, say, the 1969 Trade Act, they talk, say, if you're not a merchandise, where they bring
wholesale
goods from out of the country,
they import and sell wholesale.
Then they prohibit you for sell retail.
Retail, yeah.
But they don't enforce this act. And because, you know why? If me get a bigger shop and they carry retail, and they sell at cheap. So me won't go down. Whereas that petty trader, you get for sometimes you go buy at this market, Agbara market, you get for can sell, he make profits, for go pay back the market where he take the basic, and he make small profits. When I get for take, for go sustain himself, and in picking and a house. So now he make the GW Act, now one area where the government try for correct the injustice, the mistake we don't happen in terms of discrimination.
But also make mistake.
And then,
but also make mistake along the way.
Yeah, well,
for violates
so that make the all way out in that argument is the opportunity for the to the new constitution. Whether we are going to have a new constitution or a reviewed one, let them take care of the lacunas there who exist. Because if we continue for based on legality or based on rationality, well, they miss the point. They can say lived, equality is different from constitutional reality.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the point. If people that get the time for go through the website and go through the laws there, you go see whose side the lines and draw. And for let the president, take the cue from the first lady and the Ministry of Gender, till they come to the point of getting a landmark law like this, the GW. Even though he needs some more amendments and more modifications and other things. We will celebrate them as a nation, rather than we look at legality. If you look at legality, so many things and the way they go on were not right. And it also contributes to discrimination.
All right.
So let me get it right, and then we'll move on as a nation, we rewrite history.
Abubakar Traoré, I name in the policy analyst na budget advocacy network ban. All right, we'll move to the second half of the show and bring you some of the other segments. Let's start with sports and join Mohammed Collier. We will bring you the updates in there.
Hello and welcome to the Today Show Breakfast Sports on Slick Television, channel 37. With me, Mohammed Collier. Inside this edition of the Today Show Breakfast Sport, we will talk about the Sierra Leone Pool and Snooker Association, the championship, where they always say they get a giant trophy we come up from Japan. The president and also the marketing manager for the organization we can get the giant trophy, get a statement where they make, and you go here and shortly inside the program. And also we'll talk about the Leon Premier League. We'll get results of matches them we play on Monday. But Riverfall Strikers get a 2-0 win, and also Star Sports Academy gets a 1-1 draw with Monterey Slipher. Inside the international scene, as the FIFA World Cup the draw closer, we get qualifying matches them where they play on Thursday. We say we get teams them we already don't make, and teams that we did at the edge for make, and teams that we at all not for make. We will bring you all the analysis and the group by group, and you will know who are the teams and the countries them we stand chance for qualify, and the countries them will not stand chance for qualify. After the short break, we'll come back and give you all the updates them inside the Today Show Breakfast Sport. Welcome back from that short break. You still watch the Today Show Breakfast Sport on Slick Television channel 37, or you can follow it on all your social media platforms them. YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and the rest. Now, the Sierra Leone Pool and Snooker Association All-In Championship at the Sakiri Lodge in Aberdeen on Sunday, the 9th of November 2025. We say they get somebody will come up from Japan, we can get the giant trophy. A name that Hiroshi Ono will come up from Japan, we are the marketing manager for Kumi brand inside Japan. We come with the giant trophy. And now this statement he make before the championship starts.
Happy to be here. We took like 40 hours from Japan to come to the Sierra Leone. This is that was my longest way to go to the. I know I experienced a lot of overseas business trip, but this is the longest way. We came here because the Kamui brand has a mission to connect people, no matter which countries, which religions, which languages, but all of us, we love billiard, and that is the most important. So we come together to enjoy billiard, and which connect the world as a sport. This is why we came here, and to achieve the connection with Mr. Jita and other people who organized this beautiful tournament. So today is the final, and we bring the trophy for the finalists and the champions. So I'm excited to watch the final game. Thank you so much. Thank you.
The president of the Sierra Leone Pool and Snooker Association, Joseph Saidu Jidakis Kamara, talk about the trophy where them pull from Japan for Kangi, the person we win them.
It's a giant trophy, and I believe it's the first time we are having such trophy in Sierra Leone for pool championship. We have the referees here; they can attest to that. Musa, am I saying the truth? This is the first time for us to have such a trophy. We want to thank Kami for this. This is beautiful. This is lovely. We want to thank you for this, and I believe, and we are still in behind negotiation. I'm always going to be around this trophy, but I believe it's a good trophy, and let the winner take the trophy. It's going to be a good one for them, and because if they take the trophy to their showroom, it's going to be a good one for them. So we are on that particular one. We are having some conversation behind the scene with some elders of the pool fraternity, and once we finish with that conversation, we know what we're going to do in relation to that. Once more, thank you.
And now for football, inside the Leon Rock Premier League match week 1, we see Wilberforce Strikers beat Usum Stars from McKinney by 2-0. And also, we see Star Sports Academy gets a 1-1 draw with Mount Slifa inside the Leon Rock Premier League. And now we go for the international sports updates as the FIFA World Cup qualification they draw closer. We get teams that we already did at the edge for qualify. We get teams them we already don't qualify. We get the groups them where we can give analysis of how they stand chance for qualify. Inside Group B, you get Switzerland, Kosovo, Slovenia, and Sweden. And Switzerland will qualify for the 6 successive World Cup finals with victory over Sweden. That Switzerland will qualify for the 6 consecutive FIFA World Cup if they beat Sweden with a struggle inside Group B. And inside Group C, we get Denmark, Scotland, Greece, and Belarus. And no team not qualified for the next round fixture. Denmark and Scotland, they already confirmed as the top 2 teams them we will make them for Group C. Like we get Greece and Belarus, they automatically no go make them to the FIFA World Cup inside America, Canada, and Mexico. Inside Group E, we get Spain, Turkey, Georgia, and Bulgaria. The European champions, winner Spain, go qualify if they beat Georgia on Saturday and Turkey fail for win against already eliminated winner Bulgaria. We already done the out. That automatically go make Spain qualify inside Group E. And Group F, you get Portugal, Hungary, Republic of Ireland, and Armenia. Portugal and Cristiano Ronaldo go secure the ticket to the finals with a win over Ireland on Thursday or a draw against Hungary. That don't make Portugal go automatically qualify if they win the match on Thursday against the opponent winner Ireland. That's now inside Group F. Also we get Portugal, Hungary, Republic of Ireland, and Armenia. And Portugal go make them to the FIFA World Cup on Thursday if they beat Ireland. And inside Group I, Norway, Italy, Israel, Estonia, and Moldova. Norway go reach the first World Cup since 1998 with a win over Estonia if Italy no beat Moldova on Thursday, that will make Norway will qualify for the FIFA World Cup on Thursday if they beat the opponent, Estonia. That are some of the fixtures that will line up for you inside the FIFA World Cup where they play on Thursday. Teams that don't qualify, some teams just need points, some teams just need for draw a game, or some teams need for win all 3 points so that they will make their way into the FIFA World Cup 2026 hosted in America and Canada and Mexico. Now all this we get for you today inside this edition of the Today Show Breakfast Sport on Slick Television, channel 37, with me, Mohamed Collier.
All right, travel updates now for Thursday. You need them because it'll help you movement to and from the airport. Starting 5 a.m., that's 5 o'clock in the morning, Askai Airlines flight KP023 go left Banjul, the Gambia, is stopped at Freetown International Airport 5 after 8 in the morning. Accra, Ghana, and finally reached Lome, Togo 8:45 in the morning. At 8:30 in the morning, Askai Airlines flight KP043 go take off from Banjul, the Gambia, and head to Freetown International Airport. It reached 10 after 9 in the morning before it continued for go Lome, Togo. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Askai Airlines flight KP022 go left Lome, Togo, and make stops in Accra, Ghana, and Freetown International Airport. It reached Banjul, the Gambia, 4:45 in the afternoon. For you whether travel overnight or pick up a passenger or drop off one, Turkish Airlines flight TK533/4 go left 9:30 Nanette from Istanbul, Turkey, with stops in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso. It reached Freetown International Airport 10 after 1 in the morning, and then returned to Istanbul 1 hour later. Also at 11:30, Nanette, Royal Air Morocco, flight 8569, go left Casablanca, Morocco, is stopped in Monrovia, Liberia, and reach Freetown International Airport 20 after 2 in the morning, and continue to go Casablanca, Morocco, 1 hour later. That's my travel update for Thursday. Safe travel, and the very best in whatever you do go for, go do or can do. Straight now to the corner outside the Hot and Drop with Denejas here, 2 more for entertainment.
This na Stick TV Entertainment Corner. Me no Madena just here tomorrow. I see the hot. It up. Many people. Many people say Ajara no be small fish. Show them. So many people. Official video don't drop yesterday, 12 o'clock. Adekunle Gold don't drop the teaser on Monday, and it dropped the full video on Tuesday. Make we watch it. David and cousin Beard make a post say, we started music as a joke, but Davido mistakenly blew up. The 68th Grammy nomination of the Best African Music category reads, drumroll, Push 2 star Tyler with 614 million total streaming on all music streaming platforms. Next on, we get Davido for it, 212 million total streaming on all music streaming platforms, followed by Burna Boy with 78 million streaming on all music streaming platforms. Next on the nomination list, we get It Rush, well, yes, Ira Star, Ira Baby, with 60 million streaming on all music streaming platforms. Next, we get Eddie Kenzo with 82.1k streaming on all music platforms. Maria Osa, Sakata Osa, This is not the nomination list for the category of Best African Music. All the best to them. Davido posts the highlight of a 5-in-1 live tour in Dubai.
5 is the rhythm of life.
Dubai, put your hands up! Freaky, freaky for you. Girl, you just a blow mine. Your body they blow mine. Dubai, we just the start. Gege, 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 gege. What you say? Gege, say what? Put your lights up. I wanna see the lights. Let's go. 1, 2.
The heat, the performance been jam-packed. It was crazy. And in post say in next location na Ibadan. Imagine 30 BG from Dubai directly to Ibadan. Shake my money they wait for you. Davido also surprised in fans them with Diamond on stage, and they make a performance of this particular song where I think so. That performance na be fire because in a very long time, for the first time, Diamond appear on stage so casual but give a fire performance. Well, let me go inside the movie world and get one sweet update. Today, I said today, the part 2 of The Other Woman don't drop, and in day on YouTube, we could give you the teaser. We're gonna get the sweetness for go watch them before we do the analysis. This is not a total banger. Now all we get for the entertainment corner. Me and my just here tomorrow. I see they hot, it up. This is Stick TV channel 37. Thank you for watching.
Well, halting the hot and halting the drop at this point. We'll end the Today Show for this midweek edition and return tomorrow Thursday with a fresh edition and bring you some of the heart-burning, interesting stories with border, me and you two, and the society. Thank you to the production team for putting the show together. Thank you to the guests earlier in the show, and thank you to you we take time for following. It's nice being here with you always. And stay out of trouble, please. My name is Patrick Salia. Goodbye for now.
From December 5th, 2025 to January 17th, 2026, na Freetown Amusement Park, formerly called Victoria Park. Come witness the hot talents of the grand finalists them, like Vicky Chain.
Guess you have from the breaches and it's all clear, but if I be your mastermind, I gotta make it all clear.
The Sicko Dad.
I not go down if I not start. Show me the blood clot, make a shop foot. Like that ass.
Mash.
Take time, talk body, you don't get any rank, yeah. Dress code penny, like put that money in a bank, yeah.
Fifi.
Yeah, I'm tipsy and going hard. Forgive me, Lord, for doing this. I make me dreams before I sleep. Then dog yeah, then go give me peace. I
spiff up peace.
I did it all nights, man. They see me like a ghost rider. See me so nice, I commit sin like a suicide.
Joy Dizzy.
You know, hide again. I'm the only scared. I still a breathe, but all the man is sky for sees me breath.
Sky Zone.
I put 5 boss now and damn. He don't tell where you talk, but today you look aram.
Lucky.
Are they awake, boy? The team too big. The movements not on me one. Say the team too big.
And Inspector General.
This the king for full now. When you bounce, say doll. 5 belly again. So I will well all.
As them go set the stage on fire with electrifying performance them. Mark the dates them. December 5th, December 12th, December 19th, December 26th, and January 2nd. Entrance fee na just 40 leons per show. And that's a small money for the kind of experience we go last for lifetime. The beats go drop 8 p.m. sharp. All this go lead to the big awards night and Rap Rampage album launching on January 17, 2026. Rap Rampage go bring you full dose of music, energy, and culture. We go shake the whole city. No miss